tropes a beginning screenwriter should avoid that a more seasoned screenwriter can navigate?
Wow, that's an interesting question. These are like very bizarre questions. I mean, it's just like, okay, I don't think there are tropes that a seasoned screenwriter are able to navigate. That's like a red flag. Like I'm like I don't want to do that, mommy. Like I don't want to do tropes that I'm not supposed to do when I'm a baby writer. It's like we need to tell honest stuff. It needs to be original. It needs to be plausible. It needs to be emotionally available. It always needs to be like that. You know, that needs to happen on page 10. It needs to happen in the first 10 pages. It needs to happen between page 62 and 72. I mean, it's all over the script, and we can't ever not traffic in that currency. You know, I just like we don't want to ever be like, well, later you can screw around and trick people. And I mean, obviously there's things that happen where you get better control, but I just can't. That intuitively doesn't feel like that a seasoned writer's ever going to be able to cheat an audience in a more effective way, and they're going to learn tricks or something that you know, I mean, there's things with timelines and cheating time and you know, tricking an audience in terms of moving, like letting the audience, sort of knowing the audience, like fooling around with a calendar and being like, well, all this is happening and it feels like it's happening over a course of 8 years, but it feels like it's also going to be happening over a year. And there's things that are sophisticated that happen, but I think that's like saying, well, it's not a trope though. I mean, that's just structure. That's just like, when I started off writing, you know, 25 years ago, writing a play, having 3 people having a conversation was confusing to me. It was like, okay, who's talking to who? Like 4 people talking, it was difficult to hear that conversation in my mind, let alone have a 150-page script, which I just wrote on contract, with 4 different arcs happening in 3 different locations, all kind of coming to, like, it was so sophisticated that it was like way out there, that for something, I never would have been able to do something like that. Even probably 10 years ago, it was too difficult. I still look at it and go, how did you do this? It's so sophisticated in terms of its structure, keeping all the balls in the air, keeping everything believable and clear, and not forgetting anybody, and not crowding your cast, all those things. So, I don't know about that question. That's a tricky question, and I don't know. I hope somebody else can figure that out, because I don't think that there's tropes, that there's other things. There probably are things that some other teacher will be able to answer, but I think that I don't want to ever promise a new writer that, oh, you'll be able to use tropes, which suggest something that's overused. You'll be able to use those later when you get more seasoned. I was like, I don't want you to ever do that. I want you to always listen to your voice, write what you believe in, you know, write what you really want to write. And that's what we want to give our audiences, and that's what we want to think about as our audiences, and not like, you know, what we're going to be able to get away with later when we know everything or something, you know. So dangerous.